Hey guys, Cactus here. Welcome to my Cactuzville channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the basic video editing techniques in my video editor of choice, Davinci Resolve. First, let's do a Google search for Davinci Resolve. The first result should be for blackmagicdesign.com. Let's scroll down a bit, and then as you see there's a link for the free download. If you click on that, you should see this pop-up window. On the left side is the free version of Davinci Resolve 18, and on the right is the paid version. So just click the button on the left which represents your operating system. For me it's Windows. Before you can download it, you have to register by filling in this short form and clicking the register and download button. After you've downloaded and installed it, you can then run it and you should see this screen. This is the project manager screen. From here you'll be able to see all the video projects that you've created. The left column shows you all the project libraries. You should automatically have one called local database. Although as you can see here, I've also created ones for my Cactuzhead channel and also for my Cactuzville channel. But what I'm going to do is start by adding a new project library. So I'll go down to the bottom of the screen and click this button. This will open a pop-up window. Here you can enter the name of your project library. I'm just going to call it your database. And then you can click the browse button to select where your database will actually be saved. And finally you can click the create button to complete the process. Now in the left column you should have your new project library. You'll notice in your new library there's already a default untitled project there. You'll see that this project is already set up to run at a resolution of 1080p running at 24 frames a second. But instead of using or modifying this project, I'm actually going to start by creating a new one. So go down to the bottom right and click the new project button. It will prompt you for a name for this project. I'm just going to call it video template for now. After confirming, you should automatically be sent to the main Davinci Resolve screen. If you look at the top middle of the screen, you'll see that the current project's name is displayed there. Now if you look at the bottom middle of the screen, you'll see that there are 7 buttons here. These buttons will switch between different aspects of the program, but the one that we'll mostly be using is the edit one. Your screen should now change to look like this. At the top middle of the screen is an area where you can view the video. At the top left is where I have the media pool, and you can toggle that on and off with this button up here. Across the bottom is the timeline area, and this is where you'll be doing all the editing. And at the top right is the inspector panel, which you can toggle on and off with this button. Now that I've shown you the basic layout, let's go up to the top left, click on File, and then go down to Project Settings. A new screen should pop up. This is currently set up as being a 1080p 24 frames a second project. These settings might be fine for you, but I actually record at a higher quality, so I'll be changing this. So I'm going to expand this drop down list and look for 1440p. Now unfortunately it doesn't come with a preset for 1440p, so I'm going to have to create a custom one. So I select custom from the top of the list, and then underneath I can edit these two values to be 2560 by 1440. Now I also record at a higher frame rate than 24, so I'm going to click this and select 60. That's all I have to change for now, so let's go to the bottom right and click Save. Now because I changed the frame rate, I'll get a pop-up asking if I want to change it, and so I'll just click the Change button. Now that the project is all set up, I'll go back up to File and save the project. You can also press Ctrl S, and I'll be using Ctrl S quite a lot. Okay, the first thing we need is something to edit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop a video file from my computer folder onto the media pool. Now I can select it and drag it down onto the timeline. Now as you can see in this example, there are 3 rows. The top row is the video and is automatically coloured blue. The bottom 2 are audio and they are coloured green. The reason why there are 2 audio tracks in this is because I record the game audio separately from the microphone audio. However, in this video I didn't actually record my microphone, so it's just an empty track. It may take a little bit of time, but eventually the sound wave pattern will show on the first track. Now if you look back up at the media pool, you'll see that we now have 2 items. The first one is the video file, and the second one is the actual timeline. Now for some actual editing. Now the first thing we see is this red vertical line. This is called the playhead. Wherever this is on your timeline is what you'll see in the playback area above. You can move it by clicking and dragging the marker at the top of the line, or you can simply click on the ruler at the top to instantly jump to a different location. However, what I normally use is the J, K and L keys. The L key will play your video, whilst the J key will rewind, and if you want to stop it, press the K key. You can also repeatedly press the J or L keys to increase the speed. If you look at the middle of the screen just under the video, you can see the current speed here. Now let's move the playhead to where I want the start of the video to be. So everything to the left of the playhead I don't want. So what I can do is hover the mouse over the left edge of the video and then drag it right towards the playhead. It will snap into position. But now there's an empty gap on the left side of the video. So what we can do is just click and drag the video and snap it into position on the left. Now let's find the end of this clip. This time I'm going to use Ctrl B to cut all the tracks at the playhead position. Now I have two pieces of video. Now I'm going to repeat this process and find all the sections of the video I want to keep. Now I have 5 different pieces of video and I just want to drag from the right back to the playhead to get rid of the last bit at the end. I should say that if you want to zoom in and out of the timeline, you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse. And if you ever want to get back to seeing the whole timeline, you just click this button up here. Okay, so let's move the playhead back to the left of the video. Now we're going to add a title to the front of the video. So go up to the top left of the screen and right next to the media pool button is the effects button. In the left column select titles and here you'll find a whole load of pre-made text effects. But for now I'm just going to select one of the most basic text effects. Just click and drag it down to the track above the video. Now if we zoom in by pressing the Alt key and scrolling the mouse wheel and then select the text effect, in the top right of the screen the inspector should change to show the values for the text effect. Let's go to the rich text area and just change the text to Fall Guys. And then select the font we want from the drop down here. Now let's scroll right to the bottom to the background area and change the width and the height of the background. You can either use the scroll bars to the left or hover over the value and click and drag left and right to change these values. And I'm going to change the corner radius as well. Now let's go back up the top and click on the Settings tab. Here I can move the text by changing the position of the X and Y values. So that's the text completed for the start of the video. How about we also put something near the end? Let's first move the playhead right to the end of the video. Now for me, the last 20 seconds or so of a YouTube video is where I let YouTube display links to my channel and videos. So what we want to do is move the playhead about 20 seconds to the left. To do this, hold down the Shift key and then press the left cursor key 20 times. This time I'm going to click and drag the scroll text effect from the effects panel down to the playhead. I'll edit the text to be 2 lines of text. Then I'll center align the text, offset the drop shadow, and change the font to be the same as the first text effect. Now if we move the playhead to the start of the text effect and press play, you'll see that the text scrolls up the screen. Okay, I think we've now completed editing this video for now. So after we press Ctrl and S to save the project, let's now go to the bottom of the screen and click on this Deliver button so we can now render out the video. When you click this, the whole page will change and you will see the 5 individual clips that we've now got. Now if we move over to the left panel and we make sure that the video tab is selected, I like to change the format from QuickTime to MP4. I keep the codec at H.264 and I check that the resolution and frame rate are correct. I then change the quality to 60,000. I now go back up to the top of the settings and give it a file name, and then I can either click the browse button or type in the location on my hard drive I want this video to be saved to. Now, down at the bottom of this panel is a button that will add it to the render queue. Press that and then at the top right of the screen you'll see it added to the render queue. At the bottom of this panel is a button to render all the videos that are in this queue. If you click it, it will start to render the video. I'll speed this up as it takes a few minutes. Once it's completed rendering, you can search for it on your hard drive and play it in whatever media player you have on your system. Here we can see the text at the start of the video, and if I skip ahead you can see the scrolling text at the end. Anyway, I hope you find this video helpful, and it'd be awesome if you could click the like button, and if you aren't already, if you could subscribe. That would really help this channel reach a wider audience. Until next time, this is Cactuz signing off.